Hey there! Welcome back to Disc Golf Network's coverage of the 2022 Santa Cruz Masters Cup presented by Innova. We got our back nine coverage of the FPO feature card for round one. My name is Ella Hansen.
And I'm Raymond Klein.
And we're going to keep following our feature card here. We got Catrina Allen on the feature card. A clean front nine, no bogeys, one down. Solid golf for her. And we also got Jessica Weese also on our feature card at 3 over par, and Ohn Scoggins as well as Katie Atwood. Hole 10 is a 363-foot par 3. Every hole out here actually is a par 3 this year. We've got this nice little small gap that you can hit off the tee. There is also sort of a spike hyzer option high right. And you're just kind of trying to hit this gap and push pretty much as straight as possible, maybe with a little bit of a left finish. Couple trees here in the way toward the end of the fairway once you get inside the circles.
That's about it. Yeah, I think you did a great job. Definitely one of the guarded greens. There's around 16 or 17 trees in the circle, which always makes for a fun putt.
Yes. Catrina lining up this straight gap.
That's looking great.
Gets a nice skip, pushing down the fairway. That's a great shot. And that ground play is something that you're going to see pretty commonly. It's a small gap left and right, but it's also a small gap up and down because that hill pushes up pretty high and those trees push down pretty low.
Ohn playing it much tighter to the ground, but still getting that ground play. Right off the tee, you really want to avoid that left side, but once you get up over the hill, the left side does open up and you can get a fairly clean approach. Oh,
Jessica,
that's great.
Sneaking past that tree, throwing her forehand, getting past Catrina. She should have a long look there for her birdie.
Katie following Ohn's path there and kind of going really close to the hill, but getting up over the top.
And this is another hole that's not necessarily a par 4, but probably a lot of the players are playing it for a 3.
Katie taking the nice wide open right side up toward the basket. That is the largest gap as you are coming up into the green.
And she gets herself just to the edge of the circle. Ohn looking like she has pretty much a straight approach here. Gets caught up with one of those last trees, but she'll get inside the circle for a look for par.
Looking like Kat has a fairly easy hyzer approach. Oh, catching that last tree. Oh, second to last tree.
Those gaps are tough to hit. They're small and it's easy to think you're past the tree and then suddenly it just jumps out into your path.
They do that a lot here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, beautiful shot.
That's probably another Sonic. Just a nice touch forehand getting her right up under the basket for a par.
Kat having a bit of an obstructed putt here. Oh, over that branch is probably one of the only ways to have made that putt, unless you have a line drive. This hole did play as the second most difficult today.
It is a tough one, but Ohn
Wow.
cashing in the circle 2 putt. Let's watch that again. I
Right
love
over
watching
that
her
branch.
putt.
Wow.
Just smashing the chains.
The gumption.
She loves it.
That's
got to feel good too, especially after chaining out on that last hole. She's getting back on track with her putting. Not that the last one was a bad putt, but you know, kind of feel good.
She made her last putt, as far as I'm concerned.
Katie giving
there
it
we
a
go.
little step putt for her 3. That is a great putt.
Grabbing those right side chains.
Heck yeah.
Love to see it. Cat tapping in her bogey there.
Almost had 3 nice jump putts for pars there.
And Jess with her par.
So that's Kat's first bogey of the round. But yeah, as you said, second hardest hole on the course, so.
No birdies on the day.
All right, we got hole 11 here. We got a big gully with a lot of trees to get over. Most players are probably either throwing a forehand over the top of all these trees or throwing an understable backhand or just trying to get it to go left to right with a backhand. We got this last tree here that's kind of protecting the basket, and if you can fight past that tree, you'll have yourself a look. You just really, 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 really don't want to go left. Ohn putting a full power forehand up over the top.
Being able to push forward and end on that right side is going to be one of your better options. Hard to tell since those trees are the fairway. And you will almost never see your disc actually land.
Jess giving it a full Annie rip there. She looks like she lands about where the unused next tee pad is.
It is the safest play.
Katie
Looking like
on
a great shot from Katie. Died a little early.
That line was beautiful, just a little bit low for her, but catching that one of those last couple trees. But she had a great pull on that one. Trina using the right side of that tee pad there. She's throwing more of a straight shot. And also catches that last tree, but she gets down.
For the most part, even if you're catching that last tree, you're in a decent position to get up and down.
Absolutely.
Almost aiming for that last tree.
Yeah. Beautiful upshot there.
That's great. Great use of the ground.
Just getting the good old scoot, the Dela scoot.
It's a new dance, actually.
Yeah.
Ohn was not in a bad position off of her drive, but as you can see, if you are outside of circle 2, you now have a low ceiling to contend with to get inside.
And I don't think she's very happy with that, leaving her approach a little bit short. She'll still have a look.
Ooh.
Jess really just trying to throw it in every time, apparently.
That's what it looks like, and I'm here for it.
And she'll have a long putt for her par. No birdies today on this hole as well for the FPO division.
Kat making her putt nice and easy, a little tap in.
Ohn for the par, great putt.
It's a great par save.
Jess from a pretty similar distance. Big Annie putt there. Just a little left.
Having her putt like that, though, saves her a lot on possible rollaways.
Yeah. Oh.
Unfortunate miss there for Katie. Looks like she just held on to it a little long.
And that leaves her with another tough comebacker. Oh. Hitting a little high, little left, but that's one of those putts that definitely could have stayed in the basket. That's a frustrating double bogey for her after a pretty solid drive.
Kat making good on her par.
Good little bounce back there from her first bogey of the round.
And Jessica grabbing a bogey on this hole.
So Jess and Ohn now tied at +4. And we're moving on to hole 12, the gravity hole, or just gravity, depending on what you want to call it. We're throwing downhill. We are throwing onto a hill. This is another hole where you just really want to land safe. A lot of people trying to aim left of that V tree we just passed and kind of trying to use the ground to scoot up here. Those pavers can be pretty dangerous and cause you to roll pretty far down that hill to the right.
On this hole, I think the more stability, the better.
Ohn hangs on to it a little long. She went with the standstill, but she gets a good kick back out into the middle of the fairway. But she is not happy with that.
Catrina going for that left side there, but falling a little bit short. Switch the wind.
Getting a little bit of wind out here on this hole. This is a tough one because you don't wanna put the nose up. You wanna put the nose down, honestly, so that you don't go too crazy. But if you put the nose down too much, you can just get pushed right into the ground.
That was looking like a decent shot, but still went very straight, and so that's going to leave her with like a 30-plus foot uphill putt. Mm-hmm. I'd rather be putting uphill than downhill.
Yeah. Ooh, Katie.
Oh, there we go.
Just
taking the local route.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of a roll.
Not too bad, though.
It's going to be some tough footing, but I love making up my own lines. Ohn with this obstructed putt here, probably just trying to lay it up.
Yeah.
Right on the side. Perfect.
Just landing it to the left of that tree, letting the ground play, scoot you up toward the basket.
You'll see a lot of that, people going for that like anti-glide. Giving it a run, and she'll have a nice, easy putt from that second tier.
Catrina straddling out, giving it a
Ooh.
little bit of a run, looks like. But
In my head, that was like right next to it. Got an uphill straddle here for Jess.
This is the closest drive of the group.
Ooh.
Oh, just catching some chains.
I feel like you tend to see a lot more straddle putt attempts because of how much the greens here are sloped, and you're able to get a little bit better balance than if you were to try and stagger putt.
Mm-hmm. And this is the easiest hole in the field today. But our feature card is going to all take some pars, it looks like. Quite a lot of birdies on this hole, but par is a good score as well.
Yeah, 12 birdies today. That's cool.
All right, checking in on the leaderboard. I was having a pretty good round. 3 down. Catrina staying pretty solid at even. Got Hokum there in 3rd place.
Have some similar names hanging on into this top 10, including Sarah Hokum and Madison Tomeno.
Yeah, got some tight scores here, and really anything can happen at Dela. You never know. You never know.
So true.
None of these holes are easy pars or even bogeys sometimes. All right, moving on to hole 13. This is a definitely gettable hole for the field, but it is a tough one. It's a really severe dogleg left to right, but as per Dela, we have a nice cliff on the back, but it kind of honestly wraps around a little bit, so you don't really want to be right. Being left on your drive or pushing a little more straight is a little bit of a safer bet, but it doesn't necessarily make for an easy approach.
This tends to be one of those holes where even if you have a decent drive and you're in circle 2, everyone is pretty much has already decided that they will be laying up.
Mm-hmm. Ohn looks like she just caught that tree kind of right in the middle of the fairway. You really just want to try to go left or right of that tree. Catrina taking that
inside line.
That looks great.
Yeah,
I think she's inside the circle.
Jessica taking a slightly wider line than Catrina, but puring it and getting that.
Ooh.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, no, that's fine.
That's really the best place that you could be.
Yeah.
Because
She'll
you are
have a
no longer putting down the mountain.
minimally death putt.
Katie going a little bit higher. Oh, and catching that branch. That's your danger there.
Yeah. That tree will get you. And this approach is really tough. There's a big root down there just in front of the green.
Another high shot there from Katie getting knocked down. I would argue that this is one of the most difficult approaches.
Yeah, for sure. There's a big root there. It kind of looks like a snake.
Like
Ohn
an
kinda hits
anaconda
it.
almost.
Yeah, almost.
Crazy.
Ohn having a pretty good approach there.
Oh no,
Hey,
Katie.
going up the hill.
Catching some tree there. Even this is still not an easy approach.
And you can see that right side slopes down almost the entire way as you move up the fairway, and it's usually why you don't see people throwing a forehand off the tee.
Mm-hmm. Jessica looking for her birdie.
Just inside the circle. Yeah, there we go.
Sick.
Thanks for spotting.
Always thank your spotters, you guys.
Always thank your spotters, especially at this course with these cliffs.
Yeah, these spotters know what they're doing too. They're spotting that first drive, and then they're getting down to the.
You can see
To
him
the
take
edge.
off. Oh, it's
Ooh.
a great putt from Catrina.
Nice. Those are two excellent birdies.
Wow.
The only two on the day, actually.
I was just going to ask. Ohn with a great putt for her par. Again, no fear.
No fear.
And Katie with a double bogey, unfortunately.
Okay, you got two, right?
This Grand Great Lakes Open champion. Dynamic Disc Open champion. Open champion. Kristen Tatar.
I've been dreaming about coming here and competing here, and now I'm finally here, so it's a dream come true.
The crowd was so spectacular today. Just the energy from you all was just amazing.
I love you, Oregon.
All right. Hole 14. This one is a little bit shorter, but it is shockingly still challenging. You're kind of trying to throw it down this fairway, trying to miss this big root ball on the left side, and pushing it down this little gap, avoiding that cluster of trees on the right, and trying to get it up to the basket. Most players are probably going to be throwing a distance driver or a fairway driver here, something stable, trying to throw it straight and let it finish left.
You almost want to try and get close to the, what was the giant root ball?
Yeah.
And just go on the right side of that so that you can stay in. There is technically a wider hyzer gap, but that brings in so much risk of hitting a tree and going down the cliff that is shockingly along the entire right side of the fairway.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That is a good point. It is there. It is scary. Looks like Catrina went a little too inside, but she got a good kick
Ooh.
back out into the fairway.
So that was the line I was talking about, and she did it great.
She did do it great.
I feel like, Ohn, oh yeah, she was really pushing that right side.
Yeah, that tree that Ohn hit, that's a common hit. You really want to push that right side as much as you can before you drift back left.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's also the road left OB, and that definitely comes
That's
into play
looking
as well.
great. Get over. Got
like-
around the tree.
Yeah,
Root ball.
and this is a tough shot. You can't necessarily tell from here, but you can't even really see the basket.
Oh, that's high. Ooh, just sit down. Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So it was just me that thought that was like way right.
You know, I thought so too. I was like, is that actually what she tried
It didn't
to
make
do? I
sense
couldn't
because
really-
she seemed like she's like, yeah, that's where I tried to throw it.
Yeah. Sometimes shots like that, like when there's a low obstacle in front of you, it's easy to let your brain be like, no, throw it
Just
up high. And
throw it
then,
up. Yeah.
then it does it, and you don't want it to. Katrina with a nice gentle approach.
Oh, great kick.
Good little kick off that.
I feel like this is one of those
stump.
baskets you can often see, you're trying not to hyzer your approach too much because of the road, and then you'll hit that tree on the left and you'll start rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just
catching that
it.
trunk.
Yeah, this is it's an open green from the front, but if you push long, there's that stump on the right, there's that tree on the left.
With
and
some low branches.
they can make your putt really challenging.
She's pretty much in the best spot that you could be if you go long, because they're the path to the next basket.
Katie for par.
There we go.
Good putt.
Jinx.
Ohn, I believe this is to save a
Yeah,
bogey.
I'll say this would be her first blemish on the back 9.
Frustrating hole for sure.
Cat grabbing her par. Always feels nice.
Mm-hmm. Jess also grabbing a par. Pretty well played for our feature group there. And we're moving on to this back corner of Delaveaga. Moving on to hole 15. It's a lot more uphill than it looks. This first section is kind of at the same grade, and then once you hit this grabby tree on the right, it starts to go up a little bit steeper. With this still got that slope from left to right. We also have 2 little retaining walls here that can be helpful sometimes and can be unhelpful sometimes.
You've got the road on the right as OB, and this year, because the lack of 2-meter rule, you might see more people trying to go over that tree in the middle.
Mm-hmm. As I said, it's a very grabby tree, so...
Ooh, and there you go. Not grabbing today.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Looks
Did
like
she
she
skip
got a little
off?
kick through that tree. I think she's safe down there, but it's not a great position to be.
There's like a little plateau just past the tree on the right,
Mm-hmm.
which is what she looked like she skipped off of. But the road does veer away and gives her a little more space.
Just throwing a nice shot right into the middle of the fairway. Using that hillside, getting a little roll back down towards the middle.
With the grade on this hill, it's a little less likely that we see a lot of birdies in the FPO field because it feels more like a 400-foot hole.
Yeah, it says 351, but I think it plays like 450 almost.
It feels like it. You
Yeah.
get a full rip, and then it lands by the tree, and you're like, oh,
Okay.
oh, cool.
Ohn probably a little more hyzer than she wanted there, but she'll have an open look, I believe.
Might just be, it looks like a tricky lie.
Yeah. Katie looking at her approach from this left side. This is a hard place to approach from too, because you want to throw a hyzer, but you don't want to land with too much edge on that hill and potentially roll down.
And this grass, I feel like this hill sees the sun all day, and it's very slippery.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Good shot there from Ohn. Parking it for her par.
Oh, so she did stay in?
Wow. So Katrina ended up down here next to the road, but inbounds.
With a tough second shot,
Wow.
but well done.
Yeah, well executed.
Being able to land your disc flat on the hill really just saves you so much heartache.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, as you
jeez.
said, it's a slippery green. Or slippery hole.
Yeah,
Dang.
seems like she's okay.
A little bit of movement from her disc, but she shouldn't have too hard of a putt there.
Oh,
Katie giving
Come
it a
on,
bid
sit
for
down.
par. Oh, no.
all right. I mean, if you're gonna roll sideways. Don't roll down.
Katrina looking to save her par.
Oh man.
Catches top of the band. Whoa, pulling the whole fairway up.
There was a lot
Her
of, what
mini.
was it, like erosion, and so there's a ton of things across this. And oh no, Katie.
Tough miss there for Katie. Yeah, I believe this this part of the course, this and the next couple of holes are closed during the winter to control some of the erosion.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot of like the barricade measures and the rope and everything. Nice putt there from Jess. I feel like more often than not when you see a player slip, they're frustrated about the shot and no one's ever actually mad about falling. They're just like, no, did the disc still land?
Yeah.
True professionals.
I believe Jess taking the only par of the group, so that's a great par, honestly.
After 15 holes, Ella is the only one still under par, rocking it. And you, yeah. Couple more strokes here and there, but everyone in your top 10 seems to be controlling the bleeding a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big thing at Dela. You're gonna have mistakes, you're gonna have bad things happen, and you just gotta...
Whoever can move on the fastest is gonna have the better day.
Yeah, have the memory of a goldfish. All right, hole 16. Another one, super steep going up the hill. I think this is probably the steepest hole of them all.
Definitely, of them all.
You're kind of just trying to throw something high, usually a distance driver. A lot of people looking to throw a hyzer flip through this gap or the gap to the right. Probably most people landing around in this area and trying to have a long look for birdie or maybe just a pitch up for par. And a little bit of a treacherous green to the right and to the back.
Like most of the fairways, the right side is almost a cliff the entire way.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people... Oh, Jess, I actually really like this line. Taking the forehand up the side. She'll be flatter approaching the basket, but she is going to have more trees in her way.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a common miss of people avoiding the right side with too much hyzer, and then they get kind of locked up behind a couple of the trees. But that looks really nice.
Looks like she maybe pushed it a little too right, but she'll be right on the edge of that rough. She should have an open look to the basket. Yeah, a lot of players are just trying to get up to the flat area on this first shot, which makes the approach a lot easier.
Catrina getting great height on that drive really allows her to skip most of the roughage that's on the beginning of the fairway.
Yeah.
If you have the power, just going over is really sweet.
And this hole is, it says 276, but it plays...
That's wild. There's no way.
It plays at least 375, maybe 400 with this uphill.
Yeah, this one is easily the steepest.
You can just see how steep this angle is here for Katie.
Steep. Say it again.
Steep, steep, steep.
It's so steep.
Catching a little bit of tree there.
Even your better drives here on this hole don't allow for a clean up shot. It is a tricky fairway.
Beautiful
or
shot there from
not.
Jess.
Even with a log.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Nice
showing us how it's
straddle.
done.
And that's a tough one too, throwing that forehand because you're fading towards down the hill, but she puts some great control on it.
Ohn getting a hold of that one. And unfortunately grabbing a tree, but she'll be level with the basket, it looks like.
Good approach there for Katie. Catrina with a look for birdie. Giving it not really a run. That looks like a layup to me.
She thought about it for a second, and then she decided to play golf.
Mm-hmm. Smart play.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness. That was a great putt to save her par. Yeah, let's take a look at that again.
You can show me replays of Ohn's putts all day.
Dead center, falling down into the basket. That is just
She knew out of the
a
hand.
classic Ohn putt for sure. At this point in the season, Ohn is the FPO DGPT leader in Circle 2 and Circle 1 putting, so it's always a treat to watch her play disc golf. Jess and Catrina tapping in pars. Hole 17.
The spine of the mountain.
Yeah, really up on top of Delaveaga. this hole is pretty straightforward, to be honest. You got drop-offs on the left and the right, but it's a pretty straight hole. It's a little bit uphill at first, but mostly flat. 354, usually playing into a headwind.
Definitely a little bit today.
Yeah.
This might be the only flat hole on the course.
Just trying to flex it down the fairway.
That's a favorable kick.
Yeah, a little too much turnover, but kicks right back out into the middle of the fairway. Ohn also flexing it. Looks like,
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah, I got smacked down there.
Just pushing that right side a little bit too much. This is tough with the wind. This is at a lot of FPO players' max distance, and people are looking to throw that full flex shot, and you really gotta keep it controlled and not pushing the edges of the fairway. Don't think Catrina's very happy with that shot.
No, she definitely turned that one way more than she wanted to. Hard to tell how much wind they actually did have at this point in the day, because the wind that you feel on the tee pad, not the wind that is on the rest of the fairway and up at the basket.
Yeah.
You might not feel the wind from here.
There you go. Owen just said it. That tends to happen a lot, and it's strange to get to that point of the course after you've been throwing up and down all day to just look at a straight shot and be like, this should be super simple. That's a great out by Katie.
Yeah, beautiful shot. It'll give her a long look for par.
And I believe, this basket was not elevated last year?
Nope, the elevated basket's a new addition.
Oh, what a nice touch.
There you go, Ohn. Good shot out of that tree.
Yeah, if you can stay on the edge of the right side, you'll definitely be able to get up and down. But I mean, even if you're 10 feet in, there's like a walking path through the park, and then the basket is now blind.
Just
Swinging that wider than she wanted to.
But that should be a makeable putt inside the circle.
Definitely.
What do you think? Running it?
No. Oh,
Ooh.
I lied.
She's
Or no,
giving
I
it a
didn't
bid.
lie. I was wrong.
I lied. I know
I
everything.
lied.
Catrina looking like she's got a 25-footer or so from here. Cash.
There we go.
Good
I
putt
think that
there to
was-
save her par.
It almost looked a little high in the chain, but great control on her angle for those putts.
Yeah. And she likes to putt like that on hyzer, so she knows how her putt's gonna catch in those baskets.
Good putt. Ooh.
And there you go. Jess cashing her putt as well. You can see the confidence before they let go. They're just like, yep,
Yeah.
I got that.
Yep.
There we go.
And I believe this is the first real elevated or
I think
officially elevated basket on the course.
Not just via the green.
Yeah.
And
Good
a
putt
great
there.
comeback putt for Katie. 3 pars on the card for hole 17. That's well played.
And we've got our finishing hole, top of the world, catching a little bit of the ocean there in the background. There's a lot of options on this hole. There's also a headwind probably, so
I know we had quite a headwind when we played it today.
yeah.
A little swirly.
If you go OB, you can either play it from where it crossed or there's also a drop zone. But really, you're just trying to get it as close to this basket as you can, trying not to catch any of those trees on the way down. There's, you could throw a putter there, you can throw a distance driver. There's
You're
a
going to
lot
see
of options.
I think a decent amount of women throwing just straight down the middle, sometimes with a mid-range, or you can take the wider hyzer approach like Jess here.
Just throwing a wide hyzer, but to the inside of the tree, a lot of people go over. That's a beautiful
That's
shot.
a great shot.
Looks like she threw a wraith there. Keeping it low. You really don't want to get the nose up on this hole, or you will be yelling parking lot.
Ohn might be one of the only women, again, that takes this wider forehand approach. You basically throw it at the parking lot. and then hope that it swings back in like that. That's a
There you go.
beautiful shot.
Didn't need to say that, Ohn. That was a good shot there. Looks like Kat's going with a slower speed disc here.
Yeah, she's taking more of the straight approach. As long as you don't release it too high, that's one of my favorite lines to the basket.
And that's
Oh,
a
that's
great
beautiful.
shot. Just to the edge of the circle there.
You've now seen 3 different lines. Shout out to the feature card.
Gotta show them all off. Katie taking a kind of between
I was
Jess
say, right
and
between,
Kat's
yeah.
lines.
Still taking that hyzer. The hyzer really is a nice shot. You just have to be careful. Ooh.
Oh, good. There we go.
You have to be careful of that.
Yeah.
But the feature card playing that quite well. 4 for 4 inbounds on top of the world.
Katie giving it a bid for her too. Long look
Oh.
for Jess.
Oh, wow.
That's a great run.
Man, I wanted that.
Yeah, I think she
for
did
her.
too.
Own line in this, she's what, mid 2?
In circle 2. Walking
Oh,
it in.
let's go.
That's a sick birdie for Ohn.
There's something extra special about birdieing this whole 18.
Yeah. And you just love the confidence. You see her. She's
Like,
she
I'm
knows
gonna-
it's in.
let me go get
right
my
out of her
putter.
hand. She is walking
Wow.
in, catching those right side chains. That's a
think-
great way to
I
finish
feel like
around.
that's the disc golf equivalent of walking away from an explosion. She was just like, yeah, that slow-mo putt replay.
All right, we got Catrina. She got the CTP. She's looking to cash the birdie.
Oh, man.
Just catching the top band. That's a good run for her. She'll be happy to finish at even, though.
Clean it up with that putt. Nice job, Jess.
Katie in for her par. And Catrina will tap in her par as well.
Most of the holes here play over par. This one was kind of middle of the pack for difficulty, but there were only 2 birdies on the day. Along with Ohn, we had Jennifer Allen getting a birdie.
That's a great birdie. That's a great birdie to finish out. So we're looking at our results after round 1. Catrina, even. She'll be in the lead. I shot +1, just 1 stroke behind her in second place. We got a whole line through. We got even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a bunch of people at 7.
Yeah, and I think there were a few people like stacked up kind of in that 9 range also. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, 1 through 19, you still only have like a 3 to 4 stroke gap.
Mm-hmm. And we will be seeing Catrina Allen, our defending champion, again tomorrow, as well as Jessica Weese, on our lead card tomorrow.
And then joining will be Ella and Sarah.
Yeah, it should be fun. Some great play today. on
Another
this
day to
course.
attack these greens. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be great.
It really was a beautiful day today.
Mm-hmm.
Just sunshine and disc golf.
And it's great to see Katie out there on the lead card or the feature card. That's a really fun tradition and great way to get some exposure too.
Thank you for joining us for this first round of the 2022 Masters Cup coverage. This was Raven Klein.
And Ella Hansen, thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.